I look around and I wonder if you're someone who has a lot of competitors, and I want to specifically speak to electricians, plumbers, HVAC companies here in the Coachella Valley where I live. Just recently I'd heard that there are over 500 licensed contractors that live here in the Coachella Valley. And I think, you know what? How do you stand out? How do you find your customers, or how do your customers find you? So I wanted to kind of address that today because as I say this, and this is true across almost any industry, whatever product or service that you offer, there are literally tens or hundreds or even thousands of people searching for you that want to buy your product or your service. They need an electrician, they need a plumber, they need an HVAC service. But the question was, like, how do they find you? Well, here's the thing. They cannot hire you if they don't know who you are and you don't have a footprint out there. I'll give you an example. If you were searching for an electrician, what would you type into Google? A lot of times people would put in their electrician near me and it would pop up with something that shows up there. Or if you had a question of like, why do when I do X, Y, and Z, this happen, and it had something to do with plumbing? Well, it would give you back responses and it would tell you some answers. Well, here's the thing. The one way people find you is through content. That's right, through content. Now, it can be bot content or it can be organic. In other words, it can be advertising or it can be local advertising content that is not paid for. It's like a blog post as an example, or your social media posts. That's a way to do that. Now, because I'm talking about things here in the Coachella Valley, if I ask you, hey, think of an attorney in the Coachella Valley, you would have maybe one or two, probably one name pop into mind, especially if I said an accident attorney, an injury attorney, it would pop into your head. And if I ask you about, let's see, there's an air conditioning company, you would have an idea. Why is that? Well, both of these companies, they did paid advertising. They're on TV, they're on radio. In other words, it's expensive. Now you might say, well, I don't have a budget for that. Well, then you have to take the other route. One is a little faster, one's a little slower. Here's the thing. If I'm searching for an electrician, I just recently had, as an example, a Tesla charger installed in my home. And if I were looking for somebody like that, what would I do? Electrician who can install a Tesla charger in my home, right? So if you were an electrician and you created a piece of content, whether it's a video, it's an article, it's a blog post, whatever it is, when I put that into Google, your article came back up and I read that article and you kind of gave me pictures and you showed how you did it and talked about some of the intricacies and the benefits, blah, 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 and what your charges are, and how long it takes. Chances are I'm probably going to call you and I'm going to have a discussion and maybe even buy from you. But if you have no footprint, you have no content out there, and it's surprising the number of small business owners that don't have content out there. I just spoke with somebody earlier today who we're going to build them we're probably going to build them a website, but they have no content. All of their business is 100% word of mouth. Now, here's the coolest part. As I said, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people searching for you that want to give you their money in return for what you offer, whether it's a product or service. And there's never been a time in history that I can think of, not since I've been around, that you can do it easier. When I say easier, less expensively. Anyone can literally write a blog post, whether you write yourself or you put a prompt in ChatGPT or one of those other Gemini or Bard or whoever, and create articles and then fine tune it and put it on your website. It's never been easier. But the point, the challenge here is just when I spoke to this particular client today or a future client today, they don't have time to do that. So that's where you say, you know what, I may not be paying for paid articles, but I'm having to pay somebody else to write content for me, somebody who knows how to write content. I don't care if you're a solar company, you're an electrician, you're a whatever it is. If you don't have content out in the world that is leading people back to find out, hey, can you do it? What kind of job do you do? And not only are you going to put this information on your website, but you're going to put it on Google Business, your business profile. These little snippets also help move you up in the rankings. So the big thing I want to share today is, hey, how are your potential customers finding you? Are you just hanging up a shingle, opening up a business, and hoping people will stumble upon you because you say, hey, there's a good market out there? I'll give you a perfect example. Yesterday, I was in a meeting, and I'm going to wrap this up. I was in a meeting, and the person said 30% of all adult Americans at some point will need his services. 30%. Well, let's just say there's 300 million people here in the US. 30%. That's 900,000 people, isn't it? 9 million. It's a lot of people. Now I gotta check my math. 30% of that, of 300 million, is one third. That's, that's 10 million potential clients. Why aren't those people calling him? Why aren't these people reaching out to him? Because they don't know he exists. They don't know his services are available. You have to take the role and say, hey, I didn't just set up an office. I didn't just get my business license. I didn't get the equipment. I have to market my business. How do you market it? By helping solve other people's problems. I hope you found this valuable and got you to thinking. This was one of those things that, hey, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to just kind of stir up some gray matter and think, hey, how can you do this? There's a host of things you can do. Simple thing. It could be one of these videos just like this. What it cost me to do this? Virtually nothing. Open up your phone, hit go live on Facebook or YouTube, Instagram, and share your messages. This is content. Have a great day, everybody.